Hello again my friends, this is a boy and his dog, and welcome to the channel where I talk about play, rank and review games on the Evercade, old and new. In today's episode we're reviewing the 15th Evercade arcade cart, WindJammers, Karnov and Friends. Yeah, it's a silly title, but somehow fits. Now, I'll admit I'd not heard of any of these games before, except maybe having a slight recollection of WindJammers, only slight though. So this was an interesting set to take a look at. We will of course be ranking all 5 games, yeah there's only 5, but sometimes 5 is enough if they're all blooming awesome. As usual with my rankings, remember, as well as giving you a bit of info and overall feeling on each title, the ranking itself is just for fun and a way to find out how you would rank them yourself. So please after tell me where you think I'm wrong and how you would do it. What do you think my number 1 will be? Let's dig in and find out. Number 5. And at number 5 is WindJammers. Welcome to the world of Flying Power Disc, aka FPD. The first FPD World Championship is about to be held. 6 athletes have gathered to battle it out in specially designed courts to compete for victory.
Round 1.
WindJammers is a 1 to 2 player head-to-head sports game published by Peon DP Inc. and originally released for the arcades in 1994. WindJammers is a fast and colourful title. Instead of hitting a ball or shuttlecock, you're throwing a disc back and forth. The court you're playing on has walls all around, and there are 3 zones at the back wall behind your opponent that will score you different points when you get a goal. The sides score 3 points and the centre scores 5 points, which is of course much trickier to hit unless you're a crafty bugger. There are 6 characters to choose from, each assigned a difficulty, with their own strengths and weaknesses and special abilities, which when performed in court are flashy fast affairs. Your character moves quickly, you can even slide even faster, grab the disc with a press of an action button as you race towards it. You can't now have a move when you have the disc in your hands. The trick is to get the disc out of your hands as quick as possible. The quicker you throw it, the faster it will be. You can throw it in the air and run to a power point to power up, grab and send it flying into your opponent's side in a dizzying array of sparks and effects. You can also grab the opponents in much the same way if you time it well. And guess what? I'm absolutely trash at this game. Even when I time it and send a special spewing in their direction, they more often than not always catch it and send something insane back. Oh, I wish I could catch it as well. Meaning, as much as I enjoy the idea and spectacle of this game, I can't actually get very far in it at all, truth be told. And that's why it's in last place. But I in no way think this is a bad game. I think it's rather good actually. But there's only 5 games, and because I am bad I'm at this one, I play the other 4 more. It's as simple as that.
Miss. 2 points.
Number 4. And in 4th place is Karnov. The fire-breathing strong man, Jimborov Karnovisky. Karnovisky, I can't say it, sorry. I always butcher the names. Is seeking the lost treasure of Babylon. But he's not the only one. An evil wizard and his minions are after the same prize and already have in their possession most of the pieces of a secret map. Then when put together will show the treasure's true location. Karnov must battle through these minions, collecting the pieces of the map to finally claim his prize. Karnov is a platform game for 1 to 2 players, alternating, published by Peon DP Inc. and originally released for the arcades in 1987. Interesting to note, though this game never got a sequel, Karnov has cameoed in other games, more so as a villain, and I believe some of those games have appeared on the Evercade. Now Karnov is an interesting fella. There's a hell of a lot to love about it and a hell of a lot to get frustrated with as well. The sprite detection in this game will give you the right eyelid twitch and a low mumble every time, like every time Sideshow Bob sent another pulp flying into his face in Cape Fear, the second episode of the 5th season of The Simpsons, if you remember that. And the later levels get a bit ridiculous. But what's good, a lot as it goes, the game likes to play around with a lot of items, some to be used in the moment, some which once collected are used, and others that don't have a direct use but instead have a constant use, if that makes sense. There are 4 items squares to fill on the left and 4 on the right. The 4 on the left can be toggled left and right with a directional. It's confusing as your character is obviously controlled at the same time. You press triangle on the item you want. There are items like skates to speed your movements up, a bomb which not only kills enemies but can also be used to clear a way forward, ladders to reach those hard to reach pesky items. Make sure you are lined up when you place the ladder or you may not be able to get it. There's a boomerang and a super flame to power up your attacks. The game will give you a hint when an item should be used, for example to uncover a secret by flashing, so make sure to use the item in the spot and where it flashes. There are other items which fit in the bottom right 4 item slots that are special items, like a Master C hidden items, a trolley to make car appear on the track in stage 4, and a diving helmet to speed up underwater in stage 5. You can also collect K tokens. For every 50 you gain an extra life. Now this game is a lot of fun overall, but the sprite detection and how frustrating that the later levels get stop me from wholeheartedly recommend it. Number 3. And in third place is Vapor Trail Offense Formation. The year is 1999 and Lagnalok, I think that's right, a terrorist group have gained control of the satellite communication network and neutralised the system connecting the world's military bases. They are now holding the entire world hostage with the threat of nuclear bombs detonating the world's great seas. The Special Forces Air Unit Vapor Trail are called in. They're the world's last hope for freedom. Vapor Trail Hyper Fence Formation is a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up for up to 2 players simultaneously, published by P.O.N.D.P. Inc. and released for arcades in 1989. Vapor Trail wins points straight off the bat, being a vertical scroller and offering 3 different enough planes to go in on the attack. What's interesting is you don't have a smart bomb per se, you have a barrel roll, which both protects your fighter and can be used to smash into enemies. What's also interesting is instead of having a certain amount and when they're gone, you actually have a charge meter, so using one means waiting a fair bit for it to charge and be used again. I do like this idea, it makes your usage a much more strategic affair. Later on you get an upgrade streaming out huge columns of fire. If you're killed you'll just drop it and can pick it up again, so don't worry about losing it upon death, unlike most games. And while using this, the barrel roll is replaced with a more traditional screen sized explosion which takes out the weapon for good. So not ideal to use as it's one time and you lose your fire, but perfect for those hairier moments. No matter what fighter you choose to pilot, the weapon power-ups are same. Killing some enemies will drop a weapon canister, shooting that canister to cycle through the available weapon choices, V for Vulcan, B for Bomb, D for Defender and M for Missile. There are also speed up and knife canisters to top up your health. And while that's all cool, the thing that really stood out for me was the presentation and quite the banging music. The game is really good at presenting angles and perspectives, like flying over bridges that scrolled at different speed over the city beneath and going through the clouds and climbing up the building. And great moments later on too. It's just a great game that definitely gets very insanely hectic later, so if you're on the VS, get a second player to help you. The later levels definitely feel like they are built more for 2. great game, no complaints. Number 2. And in second place is Atomic Runner Karnov. After explosion at a nuclear power station, Karnov, a former coal miner, was exposed to radiation and gained strange powers. Now he has taken up the mantle of justice and must battle a mysterious organisation that wants to steal his powers for their own. Run, Karnov, run. Atomic Runner Karnov is an early full-scrolling runner action game published by Peon DP Inc. and originally released for the arcades in 1988. You know, I just feel in my bones. This is probably one of those weird ones, isn't it? I'm always doing it, choosing a game that I just have this feeling most would have much lower. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. Look, I know this game is quite basic, a little rough around the edges, but I just got so damn addicted to it once I got the hang of the controls, which honestly didn't take me that long at all. For me, there's lots to enjoy. It's an early version of those continuous runner games where a character will not stop running to the right of the screen. Your job is to guide him, shoot at the right time, jump at the right time. If you duck, you can stop for a second, and pressing a button lets you face and shoot backwards. But you can't run back. You can never run back. Once an item or enemy has gone to the left of the screen, that's it. You've missed it. Now this game is very, very trial and error. And the psycho side of me loves that kind of thing. Slowly learning each stage and trying to get through it perfectly. It feels so good when you complete a perfect run for a stage in those types of games, doesn't it? You can shoot flames mostly and some enemies to drop power-ups. The power-up icons say up, but their colour indicates what the power-up is. Yellow increases range and speed of your shots. Red increases the size and power of your shots. And blue increases the number of bullets you can have on screen. Collecting J icons improves your jump. There are also a variety of weapon icons that occasionally drop throughout on the stage. These change your weapon to a variety of tasty and not so tasty flavours. There's a photon force ray, a boomerang, a light ring, morning star, which honestly I would avoid. The icon looks like a spiked ball. Using this will seriously slow the game down, like ridiculously. And the weapon itself is slow anyway, I would just avoid it. An electric whip and homing missile, which are awesome, but you can't shoot that many at once, so they can make you even more open to attack. Now when you first make it to a new stage, you'll be forgiven for thinking you've been dumped back in a similar looking one, but they always start with columns either side. So don't worry, they all open out into a variety of interesting looking backgrounds. But let's be honest, it's what's happening in the foreground that will take up most of your attention. And this game throws a big concoction of weirdos in your direction, from giant blobs, bugs, and even hands reaching up the ground as though they are about to jump out and start the Michael Jackson's Thriller dance. There's a groovy but basic map to chart your progress. There's not a huge amount of stages to get through, but believe me, it's enough as those later stages get hectic as all feck. Yeah, I love this game, warts and all. Number 1. And in first place, it's all that's left, it's Rogar Armor Force. The year is 2001 AD, rising from the ashes of the battle depicted in Vapor Trail, the dark forces of Ragnarok, I did it right that time, are at it again, using their most powerful and deadly mech prototypes to once again take over the world. It's time to suit up as one of the mech pilots of Team Rogar. It's your mission to defeat Lagnolok's army once and for all. Rogar Armour Force is a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up for up to 2 players simultaneously, published by Pion DP Inc. and originally released for the arcades in 1991. Where do I even start with this game? The presentation, so edible, from the bright detailed graphics to the great soundtrack and snippets of vocal audio. On top of that, there's great variety in the mission locations. They all look gorgeous with some great visual storytelling moments. And that's before we even start talking about one of my favourite parts. There is a choice of 4 mechs to control, each with different body, arm and leg units. But to take that awesomeness to the next level, you don't have to make do with the 4 default options. You can melee damn mix and match from 4 different body units, which determine your sub-weapon, 4 different arm units, which determine your close-range weapon, and 4 different leg units, which determine your speed, height of jump, and number of allied sharpshooters who can ride on your mech. And all do I need to tell you about them? You find these ickle dudes floating around the stage, go to them, and they come with you. These tiny dudes chilling on the side or back of your mech add in their tiny firepower to yours, like shooting behind to cover your back. It's such a cool, cute idea. Each mech body type has a different sub-weapon, which you have to charge before you use, and then wait to recharge again. There are levels to the recharge, so sometimes it's worth waiting for the full impact, but sometimes it's worth using the smaller charge, so you get more, less powerful attacks in over time, due to the quickness of the first level of charge. A cool mechanic. Now as for the main weapon, it doesn't matter what mech you construct, you can change your main weapon through the stage by collecting canisters of letters on. And it's the usual suspects. V for Vulcanizer, C for Cluster Bomb, G for Grenades, and L for Laser. Now I found the laser to be tricky to use compared to the others, just saying. You can also gain power cells to power up whichever weapon you're using. Life cells to recharge your life meter. Charge cells to charge your sub-weapon straight to max. Very handy. Another cool addition, if your mech loses all its life, it explodes. But you still control the ickle pilot that was inside and any ickle guys that were hanging on. You can move around quite quickly and they follow as well, shooting. It's hilarious fun as you can basically get taken out in a single attack if you're not careful, but it's surprising how long you can last. I finished a few bosses like that. I can't tell you enough how much I friggin' love this game. It just hits all the right buttons and it sounds like it was close to hitting even more. I cannot believe that in the original Japanese version there were cutscenes and different routes like branching paths through the game, and all was cut for the Western version. I would love to see a complete version over here. You know, the same thing happened to, I think it was Ace Combat 3. The version we got pales in comparison to the branching epic Juggernaut version Japan got of the same game. Been gutted to this day about that. Love the air combat, Ace Combat games on PS1. PS1. Anyone up for me going through PS1 catalogue, one game review at a time, going year by year, like once a week or fortnight as a special? Let me know. Ridge Racer series. Double Philosoma, Ballerina to Shinden and Vagrant Story. Sorry, where was I? I love Rogar. Love it. It's great. So much fun with room for customization and many replays. But I do bemoan not having the West, not getting the complete version. And it's time for my final thoughts. Yes, I did very much enjoy my time with this car. Now I don't think it's bad certified. I do however adore Rogar with all of my being, and though I don't think it's a reason enough to buy the collection alone, it is a damn good reason to get it if you enjoy the other games and aren't quite as rubbish as I am at WindJammers. Now I'm arguing if it is worth buying for Rogar alone. Jury's out, that's at your discretion. I think after what I showed, you'll know if it's your bag or not, yeah? So yeah, in the end, there are no offensive games here. I think they're all fun in their own way, and they all have great little moments. And as I say, apart from my number one, I could probably take or leave this collection, truth be told. And when you factor in there are only 5 titles, and for me only one stands out, that is a harder recommendation unless you know what you want, and it is what you want. And the pull of Rogart is simply too much to cope with. After night and night of hearing it calling you, you want me, you need me. Did I tell you you can create up to 64 different types of mech? In the end, I'm glad I got the set, and I will continue to play some of the other titles for a time if I ever get bored of Rogart. Especially Atomic Runner, I think. Well, until a new shiny collection crawls through my letterbox and says, bite me, I'm delicious. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. But you know what? I'm just chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope the day has been as awesome as you are, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.